Alright guys, as requested, going to do a walk around video of the KRX 1000 as I have modified it. Tried to do this a couple times, phone overheated, camera messed up, so we're going to see if this doesn't work this time. Start on this side. Obviously you can see the 35-inch System 3 XTR 370s. Very pleased with them. They've performed very well for me. Just freshly rotated. Trying to get as many miles as I can out of them. You can tell they are mounted on these stock wheels. Very kind of a pain for me to get that done, but I think I have a video on that, and that was it's done. And I have one up top spare on a rim that I got from somebody. So got 5 of them, and I have another set, so just in case. But anyway, on this side you can see the tree kicker. That is the Kawasaki factory tree kicker. That flat black, I really like it because when I get it all scuffed up on rocks and trees and everything else under the sun, I can come back with spray paint, flat black, paint it, match it, good to go, and we're off doing it again. Where I live down south, if you leave anything out that is steel or hell even aluminum for 5 minutes, it's going to rust, so you really got to take care of that kind of stuff. All right, back here you can see our core spring, some grass and dirt as well. Very pleased with it. Gave me back my ride height that I had lost from my factory. And also up in there somewhere is the little O-ring that gets rid of the clunk clunk. Have that both front and rear, so that was a help. Up top there, I have a video on it, is the shock mount, shock brace that I guess keeps it from flying up through there if you do any big crazy jumps, which I'm not going to do. But you never know. Maybe I'll do one by accident one day, so it's good to have. Up in here, G-Boost belt and Arcor weights. I'm actually going to pull this guy off in a little bit and blow it out, clean it out. Double check the belt, make sure it looks good. Let's see, anything else back here? Fender, that is the factory wide fender. You can see on the front there, it's wider than normal. It came with it, so very pleased with it. Keeps mud in general from getting up in here. So if you can find them and they're not stupid expensive, I would recommend them. There are a lot of other options that aren't quite as crazy expensive. So, you know, mine came with it. In the back, I have the SATV gate with a little gas can thing I put on here to install so I can carry an extra 3 or 4 gallons of gas. And then up in here I have the Pro Tools plate for 3 Milwaukee boxes. Very nice. I normally keep from right to left tools, ice chest, and recovery equipment in those guys. Brush guard and rear bumper. I don't know if the rear bumper comes stock with it, but it came with it when I got it, so I'm not sure if it's factory, but anyway, I have it. The rear bumper and the brush guard attaches up to all that mess up there. The Tusk rear tire mount, I think it's one of the best, one of the strongest. I never have any issues with it, and I got a big ass tire on there, so works pretty good. Have some rear facing LED lights for that pitch black ride when you got to go in reverse and want to see what's actually behind you if there's a cliff of death. Got those guys on, it lights up the world. You can see down here, sorta, the tail end of my Slick Rock skid plate. Very nice, very glad I got it. If I feel like it, I'll lay on my back down there and show you what it looks like, but it's been used, so Glad I got it. Good purchase. Highly recommend him. Great guy. And, you know, installs it while you wait. Good fella. Cheap too, comparatively. Rugged Radio's antenna. I'll show you the inside. That is the SATV rear windshield. It is plastic plexi. I would not recommend it, unfortunately. It scratches with minimal. Wiping it with the terry cloth and trying to baby the damn thing just scratches it. Anything plastic I'm just not a fan of on front and rear windshields. This side, same stuff as the other side, no big difference. I don't know if I talk about the intake cover. The little intake cover says Taylor. Not sure if it really does anything, but it's there. No big changes up in here other than oil changes. Open the front. You can see the Arcor springs up in here. You can see the sway bar disconnected and tied up. I do recommend doing that. It gives you a lot more articulation. If you drive fast, though, if you're all about speed and hauling ass and cornering and whatnot, probably wouldn't do it, or I would make it to where you can put it back for when you need to do that, because for high-speed stuff, it makes it a little sketchy. But for normal trail riding and rock crawling kind of stuff, great thing to have, great thing to do. Let's pull the hood off. All right, and here you see the full access UTV shock brace. It's one of them things, Black Friday, when I went crazy and started buying everything on Jake's site. Just one of them. Wasn't the easiest thing for me to install, but I have a video on it. It's doable, gets in there, and it, you know, you ever take that huge jump, that'll help save your side-by-side. Whenever I installed mine, I checked the top, the bottom, I checked my A arms to see if there were any wallering out, and I hadn't had any so far, knock on wood. So that was good for me. So whenever you do that, or if you just want to see if it's something you need, you can pull those bolts out and see if they've ovaled, and that'll let you know, hey, you might want to do something about that. Front Axiom A Arm guards. They come aluminum finish. I had them color matched. Very nice, very good. I know they have saved those A arms from some good bashing. If I look underneath there, you'll see all kind of scuffs and scratches and whatnot on it, but it's aluminum, so it takes a while for that to rust here. Badlands 5500, I believe. Great winch, has never failed when I've needed it. I added the heavier duty hook just because the one that comes on it's a piece of crap. Those lights here, I mounted those, put those on because I did a night ride in what was that, Arkansas Hot Springs, and it just coming up to a drop. It was just, you know, you have no idea what's there. Is it a little 1 foot drop? Is it a 60-foot drop into a boulder field? Just not knowing. So these guys, I can actually, when I go do that kind of riding, I can aim these down. I can aim them farther out to give me better peripheral. I can just do all kind of things. And if you see that plate, I was going to put them right on the edge here, but it put the lights in front of the bumper, and I wanted the lights behind the bumper just in case I bumped anything. And they weren't too difficult. I have a video on all that stuff. Let's see. Same thing on this side, nothing different. I do have some down here, the A-arm, the top A-arm guard. you can't see from here, but if you have a video on it, so you can always pull the video up and check it out if you want more information on it. But again, from full access UTV. Back to the front, the Tusk fold down glass windshield, highly recommend it. Back to my conversation on plastic, I got sick of the scratching crap, and glass doesn't do it. Easy to keep clean, easy to maintain. I can drop it in the summer months, put it up in the winter months, and life is good. It comes with a windshield. It comes with a windshield wiper, so you know, you hit that little puddle or something on the trail, swipe, you're good to go. You can also put all your little vanity stickers on there for all the places you've been. So like me, if you forget, you're like, oh hey, yeah, I went there. Up top is the Kawasaki OEM light bar. Goes green and then goes normal, you know, bright LED color. On the very top is the premium Kawasaki roof. Up here, I'd kind of recommend as well, I don't know if you can see that comes in through the video, but in between the windshield and the light there, I just put some pipe insulation up in there to kind of waterproof that, because otherwise there's a gap, and if you're riding in the rain and you have the windshield up, that water will just go through there and down and spill on your legs, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. If I said the Tusk rearview mirrors, I'll apologize. I'm going to say it again. Tusk rearview mirrors, very strong, made of aluminum. You ram something with them, bends them, pops them in, you can just pop them right back out, and because they're flat black, use the same spray paint, spray, back to normal, you can't tell. Front bumper with front brush guard. Again, brush guard is not a bumper, it's just a brush guard. So if you ram into a rock face or a tree, it will bend. Don't ask me how I know, but I do know that if you use your buddy's winch or your winch on the other side by side, you can pull it back out and it's just fine. Let's go inside. So up in these corners, you probably saw I put some more of these lights, and these shine more to the sides for those night rides. Again, pitch black, you know what I mean if you've been there. Pitch black on the sides, and you have no idea if that's a Bigfoot that you just heard, or Bambi or whatever. So you can flip that bad boy on, see it's Bigfoot, turn it off, and pretend you didn't see it. Then you have I have the Exo Gear. It's the bigger speaker, lights up and light dances and all kind of crap. But I actually have my rear lights hooked to its auxiliary, so I can just hit a button on it or the remote to turn my rear lights on, keep from having to wire all that crap back to the front. Fans, if you've seen it, my fan video, love the hell out of these guys. Oh my goodness, that's probably the best thing I've put in here. Get in, turn those guys. I keep mine on high all the time, because why not? Man, they're so nice. They're so nice. And people are asking about the gap in between. You can kind of see that's how much gap I have in there. Now I have noticed, if you're riding when it's like freaking Africa hot outside, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna blow hot air until you really start moving. But I mean, in that case, you need to have your windshield down. You need to be doing other things. Just a fan ain't gonna help, but it still keeps moving air on you, which keeps some of that out. These Kinimoto bags right here, I have one on each side. I have video on all that crap too. It's kind of nice. Let's say you're riding Zona and you hit a giant spot you're not expecting, and you are all of a sudden, you know, belly button deep in mud. If you put all your stuff in here, they're perfectly fine. Not all wet and muddy. But now if you roll it, you know, you're screwed. Radio, I have a video on that as well. Love the mount and how that all turned out. One little tidbit I will add to it from that video, if you watched it, I'm sure you did. The little screws, let's see, Can you see there? You see how that thing's rusting already? Yeah, typical Louisiana. I'm gonna have to do something with those, back them out and coat them, or find some other screws that maybe stainless or something. But that's the only bummer. They rust, but nothing else is rusting with this system. So speaker, radio, handset, all that. And this magnetic deal that I was worried about right here, that holds through insanely rough. I haven't rolled it yet with it, but everything else it has held just fine. And if you want, you can just put this up here on this lip and it stays out the way. Down in here, I have the tablet mount, a phone mount, switches, my rugged switch, winch switch. I have USB ports that I keep my phone and tablet on so it stays 100%. And then the light switch. Sorry, hands in the way. Light switch. The Sasquatch switch there is for light. So that works good. I have the gated shifter, and also added, you can kind of see up in there, some rubber up in there to help keep the blast of heat that gets shot out from there. And then I also wrapped the pipe that goes up through there. If you've done it, you know what I'm talking about. It's goes from the radiator back to the engine, or vice versa. Shifter gate. But one of the things I will recommend, because it makes it super easy when you're climbing and you're in low, you're going up some crazy rock climb, and you start to tilt back, you can just jam that guy in reverse that quick and gun it to pull yourself back, keep from flipping, and to keep your machine from rolling back hard in reverse. That's bad on transmission and bad on, I think it's a transmission bearing or whatever it's called. Over here, down here, the brute force throttle control thing that they have. Again, highly recommend it. You keep consistent throttle pressure through any kind of terrain, which is really nice. If you don't have one and you've had to drive in that terrain, you know what I'm talking about. That little run that makes you ride just from hitting bumps. The PV3 tuner, I have that wired going down where it connects in. I bought the little mount for it and put it here just because the screen gives you some additional data, and the thing is coded to this machine, this VIN, so it wouldn't do anybody any good if they tried to steal it. So a guy here hanging up by the spider webs. This is where I mount my GoPro. It was a little crappy mount I got off of eBay and redid the internals, and then installed it, and it became a very good mount after that point. Seats, factory seats with the Click 6 seat belts. Like those a bunch. There's a few things I would improve about them if I was Mr. Click 6, but I'm not. So you know, for what I paid and what I use them for, works great. I have the seat tilt from GillyFab. Helps you just grab this seat here, tilt it forward, back up. You can see it just rests on the fan right there. Pretty freaking awesome. Used to have to use the bungee cord, but then gives you access to all the activities back here. The space that is just dead. And back here I have the BRP bags. Very nice. You can hold a ton of stuff in here. So normally in here we'll hold spare clothes or rain gear, that sort of thing. Got a lot of storage. It's kind of weird to say with the KRX, but have a lot of storage with the rear containers and this stuff and the little bags up front. We normally don't have to put too terribly much in here. First aid kit, that sort of thing. All that necessary whatnot you want to keep close to you. I'll stick in there. Easy to get to with the seat being able to be adjusted like that. Battery, Haven't really done much to it. I do have a battery tender hardwired to it, so when I get home or when I'm done, when I park it, plug the tender into there, boom. Then when I'm ready to ride, battery is 100%. It's a 2020 original battery. Never had any issue with it whatsoever. Knock on wood. What else have I done? We talked about the rugged radio. Some stuff you can't see. I put the little anti-squeaky door hinge stuff up in there. It was the first gen stuff that came out when these guys first came out. There's much better stuff now. I mean, these still squeak, but honestly, the squeak for me, for my doors, come from here. They come from right here, and you can see where this rubs. I actually wrap it in tape before I ride. I need something just a little, obviously better than electrical tape. I wrap it, and I get zero squeak. So I need to find something better to do here. But when I do that, I have zero squeak, and that really helps on really bumpy rides. But hell, it's a KRX. I mean, it's not like you really hear it over all the other noises anyway, right? Not sure if I mentioned the cup holder on the other side. Obviously, it's rearview mirror. Big old rearview mirror from where this thing was originally purchased in Arkansas. This handle here is for the windshield wiper. Unlike some that just cover just the driver's side here, this will cover, I don't know if you can see any of that, but it covers the full windshield, leaving this spot over here and the same over there, but it leaves enough where you can see the little hole for the windshield, the little gap it gives you. Not the best in the world, especially when you have the tablet holder right there, but you get a little bit of air through there. And honestly, if it's super hot, you just drop the windshield and you don't worry about that mess. Sure, there's something I'm forgetting, but that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, post them down below, message me. But you know, this thing's badass. I love this machine. Wouldn't trade it for nothing. Oh, transmission plate. You can't see it, but it's underneath back there. It's transmission plate, then skid plate on top of that. So I feel pretty confident I will have zero issues with my transmission banging on stuff. I've checked it after some pretty serious hits. Noticed nothing whatsoever happening. So really pleased with that. That's it, guys. Again, just let me know if you have any questions. If I think of something I missed on here, I'll let y'all know. But if I did, it's probably something inside or mounted up in the engine bay or underneath that you just can't see. So if you've seen my videos, you've seen them. Like, subscribe, all that crap. Thanks, guys.